The celebrations of Easter, according to the Eastern calendar, are confined to prayers and religious masses. The 11th meeting of Syrian tribes is held in Tartus to stress the importance of national unity in the face of the plot against Syria. The UN Security Council votes to send unarmed observers to Syria and Russia, calling upon the opposition to be committed to the plan. Good afternoon, welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dania Nizam and happy Easter to you all. The Christians following the Eastern calendar celebrated Easter only through masses and religious rituals in churches. They stressed permanent love and stability in their homeland.
The spirit of Easter consolidates love and peace among the Syrian people. This is the solid foundation of the people's strength and immunity. A large mass was held in the Cathedral of St. Mar Gregory of the Syriac Orthodox, led by Bishop Mar Ignatius Zak. He was the first of Antioch and the Orient. In his sermon, he called for prayers, wisdom, dialogue, and everything to consolidate Syria's security and stability and the safety of its entire people. He prayed to God to end the root of grief and suffering imposed on the Syrian people. In the Church of Mary of the Roman Orthodox, His Beatitude Ignatius I Hazim, Patriarch of Antioch and the Orient, called for the celebrations to be confined to prayers in commemoration of the victims who died in painful events and to express the unity of the Syrian people. A religious mass was also held in the Cathedral of Mar Gregory's, led by Archbishop Luca Al-Khoury. He pointed out that Syria, with its rich historical legacy, remained a model for other people and an expression of a great love, toleration and goodwill. Bishop Petrus Zarur, the national leader of the National Evangelical Church in Damascus, asserted that Syria remained the land of prophets that should be preserved through the wakefulness and unity of its citizens. He condemned the crimes of the terrorist gangs. The masses included prayers for permanent security and stability in Syria. The Syrians prayed for peace and security in Syria, the fountain of love and peace.
In Aleppo, Bishop Dionysius Antoine Shehda of Aleppo and its environs asserted that the celebrations were confined to religious rituals in the churches where prayers were held, asking God to end Syria's suffering, to heal the wounds of the victims, and to give consolation to the mothers who lost their sons and husbands. The bishop asserted that Easter should embody the spirit of fraternity and cooperation to build and unite our homeland. Bishop Mar Gregorius Yohanna of the Syriac Orthodox parish in Aleppo said Easter symbolized the rise of both man and the motherland, and it is an invitation to hope for the rise of strong Syria after all the crises. Bishop Ibrahim Nasir, spiritual leader of the Evangelical Church in Aleppo, called upon the Syrian people to unite in order to invite the light of heaven and in order to overcome all the traitors and plotters. This would enable them to build Syria as a minaret for the world. Under the slogan "Hand in Hand to Protect Syria," the 11th Conference of Syrian and Arab Tribes began in Tartus today. This initiative stresses national unity as a strong dam blocking the plots against the Syrian people who cling to their national unity and reject all forms of foreign intervention. The participants condemned the campaigns of media deception led by the TV stations of bloodshed. They stressed the fact that the Syrian people have already foiled the plot against their homeland. The meeting lasts for 3 days and it includes 400 figures of tribal sheikhs and leaders, in addition to 300 citizens from the governorates of Tartus and Latakia, including representatives of various popular and official activities. The conference will move to Latakia tomorrow. The UN Security Council unanimously issued a resolution to send unarmed military monitors to Syria. The resolution authorizes the 30 monitors to contact all Syrian parties and refer reports on the ceasefire abidance by all parties. The resolution calls on the Syrian government and all parties to ensure appropriate circumstances for the monitors' work, their security and movement in various parts of the country. Russia's permanent envoy to the UN, Vitaly Churkin, affirmed Russia's unchanging stand towards the crisis in Syria, based on the rejection of using force and finding a political solution for the problems through a dialogue led by the Syrians themselves with the aim of preserving Syria's sovereignty and independence. Following the vote, Churkin said that the draft resolution underwent basic changes under the impact of Russia and other members to make it more balanced and to take the demands and decisions of the Syrian government into consideration. Churkin called on the armed groups to abide by Annan's plan and halt violence. He also called on the opposition to accept dialogue. In turn, China's permanent envoy to the UN, Li Baodong, said that China has always stressed the necessity of preserving Syria's independence, stability and territorial integrity. He added that resolving the crisis should be through peaceful ways by halting violence and starting dialogue within a political process led by Syria. He expressed hope that the monitors' mission would help in halting violence and supporting Annan's mission, calling on the monitors to respect Syria's independence and perform their duties neutrally. Syria's permanent representative to the UN, Dr. Bashar al-Jafari, affirmed that Syria is more keen on the interests and security of its people than any other party, pointing out that its commitment to Annan's plan came within this framework. He added that Syria feels worried about ill intentions of some UNSC member states, which are working along with some states in the region to offer support for terrorist groups. He affirmed that national sovereignty is considered a red line that cannot be surpassed. Jafari went on to say that Syria presented to Annan documented evidence on the crimes of the terrorist groups after the ceasefire. He asked how some neighboring states, especially Qatar and Saudi Arabia, announced support for Annan's plan, but at the same time affirmed their support for terrorists. He added that he asked also how can the support of the plan go with Turkey and other states hosting of armed terrorists. He concluded that some international parties expressed sadness for the Syrian citizens' living conditions, ignoring that their economic sanctions were behind the complication of crisis in Syria. In Homs, an armed terrorist group launched RPG bombs against houses in El Zahra neighborhood. An official source said the attack resulted in the death of civilian Hussein Talawi and the injury of 29 people, including a woman and her fetus, causing early birth. A terrorist gang stormed the house of the policeman Khalid Fuad Rahal in the town of Sheikh Miskin in the Daraa countryside. They opened fire at random, killing his father Fuad Rahal and his brother Musab Rahal, while the policeman was wounded. Earlier, the authorities found 2 dead bodies in Daraa countryside. The bodies are for Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Ali Atba from Hama and First Lieutenant Majd Mahir Bakri from Idlib. An armed terrorist group assassinated retired Colonel Aql Mahmoud in the city of Adra in Damascus countryside. In Douma city in Damascus countryside, the authorities found the dead body of Eid Ali al-Mutti from Idlib and the dead body of Zaki al-Laham. in Kafar Batna with gunshot wounds and the dead body of Ahmed Al Abdallah in Al Tmir. A convoy of the Syrian community in France and Belgium started a visit to Syria in solidarity with the people and leadership of their motherland against the plot which targets Syria. The convoy has come to affirm its support for the process of comprehensive reform. The convoy includes 80 people, engineers, doctors and lawyers. The participants in the convoy asserted that their visit was a personal initiative without any official invitation. They coordinated their activity with a team of Damascus young volunteers. They maintained contacts through the social internet of the Facebook via the website of the Syrian Young Volunteers. With this, we conclude our news for today. For more news about Syria and the region, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. And now over to our economic news with Khalid Saqbani. God bless you all, and God have